Greetings! I am Kaylee for PhoneAsia.com and welcome to our full review of the WCDMA Xiaomi Hongmi, also called Red Rice. This is indeed the international version, which uses 2100 and 900 MHz 3G bands. The smartphone has a dual SIM port, though only one offers 3G capability. This is the budget phone of the moment with a MediaTek MT6559T quad-core chip running at 1.5 GHz, 1 GB of RAM, 4 GB of internal storage expandable through a microSD card, and a 4.7-inch HD display. It is running MIUI V5 on top of Android 4.2.2, and I just installed the French ROM from MIUI France. We also inserted a SIM with 3D data plan, so we can confirm that it is indeed compatible with Western 3G network. Let's start with the design. The build quality is okay, it is not stunning and it takes after the Mi 2S with a plastic body. Overall, it is well finished and polished without a hitch. Everything else is classic. On the front, we have the HD display with the proximity and light sensors alongside the front camera. There are also the Android buttons which are red and are not backlit. On the right side, we can see the volumes and power buttons, which are better than the Mi 2S and takes after the Mi 3. There is a small gap allowing an easy removal of the back cover. On the bottom side, we have the well-protected micro USB port and the mic. On the top side, we have the 3.5mm jack port. The back of the phone got the camera with a LED flash and the speakerphone. The bezel is not too big for a 4.7-inch smartphone, but it is a bit heavy. It weighs 158 grams, again 133 grams for the Mi 2A, 145 grams for the Mi 2S and Mi 3. You can really feel the difference, especially if you are used to a lighter device. The 4.7-inch display offers a decent experience with a pixel density of 312 ppi. Color seems a bit off since it is a bit too warm, warmer than the Mi 2 3, so we have less deeper blacks, and white seems to be too yellowish. The HD display shines when it comes to the brightness level. So far this is the brightest display among Xiaomi devices. Usually, when using Xiaomi devices indoors, I rarely go under 40% of the brightness level. With the Red Rice, I set the level around 15–20% for indoors usage, and when it comes to outdoors, the phone is highly usable with direct sunlight. When viewing high-resolution content, like videos, there is a difference in sharpness when comparing with the Mi 2 3, but it is still very pleasant.
Something in the Goblin Tunnels. What did you find? My courage. Good. You need it.
So the Red Rice is running MIUI V5, which we are already familiar with, but there are a few new features. The SIM management allows you to easily set your data usage since it is a dual SIM phone. But the real innovation is the senior mode for an older audience or non-tech lovers. This is what the senior mode looks like. Bigger icons and some basic functions are displayed on the unique home screen, but you can add other apps on the home screen if you choose to do so. Back to the normal interface. When comparing against the other Xiaomi devices, you can feel the difference. It is less smooth, while still highly usable, but it is clearly not a high-end device. It doesn't play in the same category as its brothers. This is the classic benchmarks part. We begin with Antutu, in which the Red Rice scores as high as 16,585, but we all know that this is not the real number. So let's switch immediately to Antutu X, where there is a drop, and the new score is 14,167. So when we put the scores side to side, there is a clear cheated boost of 17%, but this is still a very decent performance from the MT6589T chip. Moving on to Epic Citadel, in high quality, the Red Rise manages to score 52.4 FPS against 57.7 FPS for the MIUI. But when we switch to the ultra high quality mode, which is way heavier graphic-wise, the difference is a lot bigger. 27.8 FPS for the Red Rise versus 48 FPS for the MIUI. We replaced the outdated quadrant for Pi, which tests the CPU part. It asks devices to make some heavy math. Faster is better, obviously. We put the MIUI and the MIUS next to the Red Rise. Surprisingly, the Red Rise manages to take the second position by a hair, putting the MIUI at the last position. Of course, the MIUS performs the best. Let's dig a little bit deeper concerning the CPU with Velamo. In the HTML5 test, we have the same order. The Red Rise is again second, but in the metal benchmark, the MIUI manages to pull ahead due to the variety of tests. Our last benchmark is the FX bench. This is the best when it comes to GPU performance. Results are clean, there is no cheating. Scores reveals the main weakness of the chip, its GPU. Only 3.4 FPS off-screen on DirectX HD and 5.9 FPS on-screen. Egypt HD got slightly better results, 13 FPS off-screen and 17 FPS on-screen. The camera app has the same options as other Xiaomi devices. There are basic and pro modes. The 8 megapixels with an f2.2 aperture lens takes good photos with decent quality using 1.4 micrometer size per pixel against 1.2 or 1.3 micrometer for the rest of the industry. It is a smart move when not increasing the number of pixels. Apple made the exact same choice using same pixel size, allowing better photos in low light conditions. Let's check the results in the photo shootout. Speakerphone doesn't saturate, but it is not as loud as the MIUI and Mi 3, while still decent for viewing movies or maintaining a phone call in a quiet environment. Battery life is decent. You will get through of 1 day of usage and a bit more thanks to the economic power usage of the MT6589T chip and the bright display even at 20%. To conclude, the Xiaomi Red Rise is ideal for almost everyone, especially in this price range under 200 euros. For 170 euros, it offers a quad-core CPU, a very decent camera and a bright HD display. It is really a complete package. But there are still small weaknesses. The Red Rise uses a plastic build prone to fingerprints, a bit heavy when comparing to high-end devices. Also, we can feel the limits of the MediaTek MT6589T system on chip. The phone is not as smooth as its Xiaomi counterparts, and it can get laggy in some apps when heavily using the multitask, like playing and watching full HD movies, which will require a bit of management. Thank you for watching our video. If you like our work, please leave us a comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our video, follow us on Twitter, Google+, or Facebook, and our blog. Of course, don't forget to visit our website. See you at our next video review. In the meantime, take care of yourself and each other. Bye bye.